Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another Saturday with me, Festus from Laddering Your Success, as we talk about the LYS Classroom app. And so we're going to kind of just jump right into this thing about who Laddering Your Success is and what it is that Laddering Your Success is doing. At Laddering Your Success, we empower all educational stakeholders through technology and relationships to create lifelong learners. Now, I know you're thinking, okay, what does that mean? How can you ensure that you're going to create lifelong learners? It's by the relationships. Okay, the relationships are really the most valuable things. And so we're leveraging technology in order to build relationships. So when it comes to lesson planning tends to distract from the students and the teacher's time. And why is that significant? We're not talking about lesson planning in terms of, oh, it just sucks, it's bad. We're talking about the actual time it takes to put those lessons together. Some teachers are using a lot of time, 8 hours a week and more, especially if you're a new teacher or you're really trying to differentiate learning for each individual student. And so teachers need tools to free them up so they can focus on their students rather than the process of lesson planning, right? And students need inspirational, standard aligned work that leads to hope and aspirations. Oftentimes, students are disengaged, not necessarily because, they just don't like your class. And if they don't, they'll tell you, I just don't like the class, miss. I just don't like the work. But the thing is that work is not relevant to them. And we hear this word relevancy all the time. And how can we make something that is so abstract, something that is written, by somebody else in another state, and how can we make that relevant to our students? And so we're going to talk about that today. So stay tuned, okay? You need to listen in. So while lesson planning often is good, right? The lessons themselves, it just takes a lot of time to come up with ideas and to try to implement those ideas into an actual, draft paper, right? And so teachers spend up to 8 hours a week doing lessons and assignments. And this takes time away from focusing on the students, especially students with special needs. If you're trying to differentiate learning, you got kids with special needs, it's really, really difficult to be able to focus on them and then actually, especially, behavior problems, and then actually draft up the lesson plan itself, right? And say, okay, I'm going to do this different for them that I'm not doing for the other students or whatnot. And so students, they tend not to like the work because they lack guidance, hope, and aspiration. And, some of these students are having a really, really hard time, especially right now with COVID. It is it's a lot. It's a lot. You have to think about it. It's a lot for us as adults, right? To try to figure out, what our next steps are. Do we want a career change? And all those different types of things. That's a lot for us. So imagine a kid 16, 17, 14, 13, and they're trying to figure out what's next. And, I'm just being honest, but the person who they're looking to, the adults that they're looking to, kind of don't have it figured out, right? And so that's scary, right? That's really scary. I don't want to go into that too much, but it's like a boat going down, right? Imagine if a boat is sinking, right? You want to hear the captain say, okay, men or women or whoever, do this, do that. You want somebody who's giving some good, clear directions that you believe are going to help, get you safe, right? And if the captain is running around like, I don't know what I'm doing, guess what? That's scary. And so kids can sense this, they're people too. So anyway, so why is lesson planning important? It's important. And this is going to be for you if you maybe did an alternative certification program or something like that. It's important because it helps provide structure, helps provide a plan, and it helps provide a flow, right? And so we'll cover those three things and then go into the next four. So in your classroom, having that lesson plan in place helps the students to know what's going on, right? Especially if you're able to share that with them. They're able to say, okay, this is how things are supposed to go. And it gives a little bit of predictability, which goes into a plan, right? So they know, okay, if your lesson plans are done, for the next class period, a week in advance or something like that, they know, okay, we worked on this. So I'm reading this next time. I'm working on this worksheet next class. When I get back from lunch, I need to do this because of the plan, right? And then it helps to provide a flow, right? There's a certain ease and flow and rhythm to your classroom that your kids can feel, right? So anyway, so there's a flow, okay? And so next, on kind of a larger scale, it helps to establish a cohort. Now, what is a cohort? A cohort is just simply that, it's a group or a segment of the population, right? And so the powers that be, in the state of Texas, they say, hey, our kids are not learning X, Y, or Z. We need them to learn that. And so they'll say, okay, we need to embed that into the standards. And when they do embed that into the standards, it then establishes a cohort for this segment of population to now know something that the segment didn't know before or needed to be tweaked, right? And so this helps to establish norms for society, right? Because let's say, for example, I know right now there's a law, HB something, I forget it off the top of my head, but there's a law that's about putting character into the classroom, and so into schools. And so the thing is, think about it. Think about where we are today, right? Think about the leadership that we're dealing with, and how leadership, depending on what side you are. Some people say they're doing great. Other people say, well, they do better if you didn't argue with them. And, so it depends on what side you're on. But I've seen some funky leadership, okay? Some stuff that you're like, okay, where they do that at, right? And so the thing is, that happens because character over time has waned or dwindled, right? And so because it's waned or dwindled over time, we need like this new, we need to kind of almost like a renaissance, right? And if we don't start doing it now, we're only going to go further down the rabbit hole, okay? So next, it provides trackability. If you have your lesson plans written, documented, and I know you're saying, I'm sick of administration, I'm sick of my instructional coach asking me for my lesson plans. They don't look at them anyway. Well, the thing is, the fact that they're done provides trackability as to what was done in the classroom, right? And so that also helps to support evidence-based learning, which is really important, right? Especially now in the information age, people pull one, get soundbite from Google or wherever, YouTube, and they literally hang their whole entire lives on this soundbite. And so we don't want that. We want evidence-based learning for our students, right? We want them to do actual research. And so next, let's move on to the different types of lesson planning. And again, I know some of this is a recap, especially if you've been teaching for years, but if you're a new teacher, if you are recently got alternative certification or something like that, this will probably be more helpful to you. So there's different types of lesson planning, and the different types that we'll talk about today are 5-step, 5E, weekly, unit, inquiry, and so many more. And so the whole point of the lesson plan is to move us up Bloom's taxonomy here of learning. Just started off remembering what we talked about last class and remembering that information, and then lead to some level of understanding, right? Like, oh yeah, I get it. I know what you're talking about. And then next to some sort of application. And sometimes it seems like, the kids, they're just there. That's as far as they go. But oftentimes there's distractions in their lives that are very serious. We've already covered some of these. And so these components of lesson planning are really vital to making sure that you've layered the information so, the kids can actually remember. So you start off with your topic, your objective, your standard, your essential question, and then your instructional input and your lesson close. And so by layering these different things, your students say, oh, okay, well, if that's the topic, and then if that's this is what we're trying, the outcome we're trying to get to, then that helps us, kind of move along that line. So let's talk about how we're going to save you 30 to 50% of your lesson planning time, because that's why you're here today. That's why you're watching this, right? The LYS Classroom app helps to empower and equip teachers while it helps to ignite and inspire students through our unique being, knowing, doing methodology. The unique being, knowing, doing methodology is about character, values, and principles. Knowing is about what resources are available and how to use them. And doing is about executing with excellence. And no, this is not some other heavy methodology that you have to learn that's going to take you months and weeks and years. But the methodology, simply put, is a way that we already operate in life, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a mathematician, an engineer, a nurse, it doesn't matter what you are. Your being comes first. Your character, your values, your principles, that's what comes first. That's what people see. That's what shines through and makes a difference in terms of if you really love your work or if you're just there for a check, right? And right now, people want to follow their passion. They want to follow their purpose a lot more than they did in the past. And so, some people were kind of hung their hat on, go to school, get the highest paying job. We as millennials and Gen Zers, we ain't about that life, right? We need passion, we need purpose. And the thing is, there's a longing inside each person for that. So let's kind of break down how we do this in the LYS Classroom app. The LYS app allows teachers to quickly create, modify, and accommodate lessons and assignments. How do we do that? Because they're pre-written supplemental learning material. We're basically giving you the supplemental learning material in a lesson planning format that you can change and accommodate very, very quickly. And I know you're saying, how quickly? I'm going to show you in a second. So just stay seated, okay? All right, so we've outlined key areas that every student needs in life for lifelong success. Social emotional learning, life skills, character skills, soft skills, and we've embedded it into the lesson plan, aligned with the TEKS, aligned with the standard, through the unique being, knowing, doing methodology. And so we've also tied in career, college, and military readiness that helps them get ready for their next stage in life. So instead of just talking about them today, you're igniting their hopes and aspirations for tomorrow, right? And so I know you're saying, okay, I got to see this. This is revolutionary. This is something that is amazing. So let's get into how it works. I just need to switch my screen here. Okay. And now we are on the Laddering Success website. And so we're just going to scroll down and we're going to click I'm an educator. It'll take about half a second to a second. Okay. And then we're going to go to the app page here. Okay. And so we're currently offering science, English, social studies on 7th, 8th grade, and 6th grade science and English. And social studies is coming. And we're about 2 to 3 lessons ahead. So you could join our wait list if you're like, I don't see math, or I don't see the grade level that I teach. You just join our wait list. And as we grow, we'll contact you. We'll let you know, hey, your class is ready for you. Or if we get enough teachers, we can focus on that. So let's talk about the actual lesson planning app and how it works. Okay, so we're going to get into it here. We will now review creating a lesson plan with the LYS Classroom app. Once you've logged into your profile, you'll see on the left-hand side the classrooms that are created when you created your account. Below that, you'll also see course overviews of these same classes. You can select either one of these, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we'll select from the left-hand side and 6th grade science. Once you log into your classroom, you'll see the grade level and subject already selected. And then you want to choose the state standard of your choice. Move this by simply clicking up or down on your arrow keys. Once you've selected the standard, you have to select the author. Now, what you'll notice is we have many different authors. That's because you'll have access to the lesson plans that everybody has created. However, we want you to choose the LYS authorized author. These are later going to be delineated. The LYS authorized author for this course is Latoya Washington. Once you select that author, what will happen is the lesson plan that has been created, which this is the original lesson plan with the LYS methodology, will come into place. Your next step is to press Create Lesson Plan. After you wait a second, you'll see that the lesson plan pulls itself up. At this point, you'll now have access to the original LYS lesson plan, which you can augment, change, and edit as you see fit. We recommend reading through the lesson plan very thoroughly, and you'll notice the key parts of each lesson, including the standard, the duration, how many lessons are in this series, the topic, the lesson objectives, and the essential question, and then the most powerful part, the LYS methodology. The LYS methodology includes being, knowing, doing, as described by character, values, and principles, knowing what resources are available and how you can use them, and then doing, executing with excellence. So this incorporates skills into the lesson plan, character, and good citizenship into the lesson plan. You then have your resources that are available to you, asynchronous and synchronous inputs, different strategies on how to go about doing that, independent homework suggestions, and then also the LYS lesson close, which takes the LYS methodology and places it in a format that you can close out the lesson. At that point, once you've reviewed your lesson, you can make changes to it, at which point you can hit complete plan. And this then would save the augmented lesson plan that you created. You'll know that it's completed because it will inform you that it's completed. And then you could click OK. You could then cut, paste, and share this document as needed with your admin or with other classroom professionals. All right. And so next, let's talk about creating an assignment and how you create an assignment. Now that you've created an LYS lesson plan, I'll show you how to create a Ladder in Success assignment. After you've completed your plan and you got the sign saying that the plan is complete, you can now click Go to Assignments. Once you click Go to Assignments, the LYS Classroom app will pull information from the LYS lesson plan that you created, creating an assignment. So as you can see, certain information was pulled from the lesson plan, including the standard, the LYS methodology, the topic, and the lesson objectives. At this point, you can then go ahead and review the LYS assignment that you want to create, and then begin to create the assignment of your choice. And the great part about this is that you can create multiple assignments for your students. So for example, you can create the assignment instructions, and then you can have them answer the essential question again. And then you can have the LYS lesson close, or you can edit it down only to the portions that you would like your students to remember. As such, Once you've done that, you can then document the different accommodations and modifications that you wish to record for this particular assignment. And as you record those, you can simply put them in by putting a yes or putting a no, indicated by Y or N, or whichever method you choose. Once you have completed that and you're satisfied with this assignment, you simply press complete assignment. Once the assignment is completed, you'll see a pop-up saying that the document is completed, and then you could click OK. Now, at this point, because that assignment is completed, you can either create a new assignment for differing learning levels in your classroom, or you can simply end it there. Now, if you want to go back to the beginning, you can hit go to lesson plans and create a new lesson plan if you choose. If you scroll down, you'll see the lessons and assignments that you created here. Thank you for your time. Okay, so let's get back on our job, as the kids used to say, right? Get on our job. You get on your job. So let's see here. Okay, so I know your next question is, okay, all these wonderful things that it does, how much is it? It's actually $30 for the rest of the semester. Imagine being able to do all your lesson plans for the rest of the semester for $30. How much time is that going to save you? Okay, it's going to save you a lot of time. Or you could sign up for a year and it's $180 for the entire academic year. So I know you're saying, okay, well, where can I get this? Again, we're focused in the state of Texas, looking at 6th to 8th grade core subjects, and we're in Houston, but it's not just for Houston teachers. If you're anywhere in Texas, you can use this and use this wonderful resource. So what we need next is we need to partner and collaborate with teachers, with educators like you using our app, getting that amazing introductory pricing, and we kind of fellowship together. We hang out. We rock together, and we learn more about the app and how you're using it in the classroom, and so we can make improvements on it. And you could use it in the classroom, and it makes a life-changing difference in your life and the life of your students. And the way that we built this thing out, you don't have to wait for administration to approve or anything like that. You got 30 bones, you know what I'm saying? We can make something happen, okay? So take a step with us, okay? Start your climb with LYS today. If you're not sure about it, you're saying, this seems interesting, but I'm not sure yet, just follow us. Right? If you're watching this on Facebook, you just click that follow button and say, okay, I'm not too sure about what they're talking about, but I want to hear more about it. Follow us. That's the best way that you can kind of hear more about what we're doing, right? And if you're watching this like on Facebook Live and you're saying, I want them to run it back, or I want them to contact me, just DM us, shoot us your email, and we could get you a really short abbreviated version of this. So then that way you're able to say, oh, okay, well, yeah, now I get how it works. We give you like, the ADHD version, right? The 5-minute presentation. Okay. And so you can also contact us at ladderinyoursuccess.com. I already showed you the website, or you can email us at info@ladderinyoursuccess.com, or email me directly at festus.amoye@ladderinyoursuccess.com. And that way we could get in contact with you and we can make something happen. We can figure something out for your situation. So again, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday, and it's beautiful outside. It's a little bit chilly, but it's beautiful outside. So go get some exercise, go for a walk, breathe in the fresh air, refresh, right? And that's it. So until next time, thank you for spending any amount of time with us, whether you came online or whether you watched on Facebook Live. We really appreciate you. Okay. Thank you so much.